That's fine. So Pete has written some words about Ian, and he's asked me if I would read them for him. So this is Pete's celebration of Ian, and it's titled A Celebration of Life. Ian Stuart, 24th of the 3rd, 1967 to the 18th of the 10th, 2022. As the novelist Samuel Butler once said, to die completely, a person must not only forget, but be forgotten. And he who is not forgotten is not dead. Ian said he didn't want words at his funeral, which is strange considering he was the biggest chatterbox you'd ever meet. Perhaps it was because he always wanted to have the last word. He loved communicating and making people talk about themselves, yet never gave much away about himself. He liked to embellish the truth, boy isn't that true, and often made up stories of his life to entertain people. He was a true entertainer and wanted laughter to surround him. I often found him talking to himself, planning his next joke on someone, or recording a video message to send to a friend to make them laugh and brighten up their day. On many occasions, in a swanky restaurant, Ian would be heard to request Heinz tomato ketchup to add to his Michelin star meal, much to the waiter's horror. He would tell them that he was actually part of the Heinz family and that it was a prerequisite for all his food. He didn't do this because he loved Heinz tomato ketchup, but to provide a reaction and to challenge what was expected. He wasn't stuffy, but a grounded Salford lad at heart. Get on his wrong side or be too stuffy though, and it was daggers drawn, and he usually won. Another example of how mischievous he could be was how he introduced himself on numerous occasions in bars as being part of a visiting circus act. He being the lead trapeze act, and then introducing the rest of us as the ringmaster and the clown, and all of us having to play along to the game. Ian was quite shy and humble when it came to his very successful career as a bridal and special occasion wear designer. He was the most accomplished, awarded designer in his field in the country, with many awards and trophies to show for it, all of which he wanted to throw in the bin. However, I persuaded him not to, as I thought they would make good doorstops, which they do. He never boasted about his successes, awards, or even his TV show on Channel 4, not to mention the many tens of thousands of women he dressed. He made so many ladies feel beautiful on their special occasions. Well, most of them. The first COVID lockdown was 3 years ago on 23rd of March 2020, and we had closed our business the week before. Ian was already beginning to feel poorly, but we had the most relaxing, chilled time in the house. Probably our most favourite time in Bonington Square, locked away at the house with glorious weather, just the two of us. He was diagnosed on 1st of September with a cruel, rare disease, diffuse systemic sclerosis, and was given a diagnosis of 3 to 10 years to live. He was taken far too quickly, and he really didn't want to die. He had too much he wanted to do and enjoyed life more than most. Ian was generous to a fault, always wanting to pay for dinner or drinks, and was always embarrassed when anyone bought him anything. He enjoyed giving presents, but disliked receiving them. It was part of his character to give and spend, which he loved to do. I thought it fit to scatter some of Ian's ashes over Bonington Square with the help of a memorial firework, as Ian was a wonderfully loud, bright, shooting star that lit up the sky in the place we loved, where we met each other and built a fabulous home together. place where we spent 22 years together, a loved home that was very dear to us both. So now, there will always be a little bit of Ian here in Bonington Square, if the firework works. Just remember to keep your mouths shut as you look up. But before we fire him off into the sky, if you have a glass, can I ask you to raise a glass of Ian's favourite tipple, Campari and white wine, as we toast our amazing, wonderful, never to be forgotten friend, Ian. To Ian. Thank you. And I think there's going to be a little intermission while we set up the firework. Is that right, Pete?
I think you have to.
Yes.